economy's looking up, you need only to look around to see that's not exactly the case. Times are bleak. According to the AP, 80% of Americans are facing near poverty. That's 4 out of 5 adults struggling to make ends meet. And just look at Detroit, which recently filed the largest municipal bankruptcy in U.S. history, sitting at close to $20 billion in debt. Yet all we hear is that there's nothing the government can do to help restore American cities, even if it means public employees losing their pensions or an indefinite end to basic public services. And look, don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that American taxpayers should be bailing out every city that files for Chapter 9. What I am saying, though, is that this government's priorities are completely out of whack. Remember when we were told that bailing out the largest corporations and financial institutions that caused the Great Recession was necessary to save the economy? Well, we were hoodwinked. Because not only was that completely untrue, but the $700 billion so-called rescue was actually more like $12.8 trillion, according to Bloomberg. So where'd all that money really go? Here's Rep. Alan Grayson asking former Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke to account for just $500 billion of that money.
To financial institutions in Europe and other countries.
Which ones?
I don't know.
$500 billion and you don't know who got the money?
The loans go to the central banks, and they then put them out to their institutions to try to bring down short-term interest rates in dollar markets around the world.
Well, let's start with which central banks got the money.
There's 14 of them, which are listed I'm sure they're listed in here somewhere.
Yes, I'm sure someone somewhere knows something about where that money really disappeared to. So are we really better off with too big to fail banks being even bigger now? Well, I think we all know the answer is no. It's clear that this government's more concerned with maintaining a well-oiled corporatocracy than it is with the financial well-being of its citizenry. But it's not just the corporate sponsors that the government favors over its people. It's foreign governments, too. Take a look at how much money the top 5 recipients of U.S. foreign aid received last year. $1.5 billion went to Egypt, Iraq 1.6, Pakistan over $2 billion, 2.3 for Afghanistan, and the closest ally to the U.S., Israel, receives more than $3 billion in aid every year. But some of the funding to other foreign militaries might surprise you. Ethiopia takes in $500 million of U.S. taxpayer dollars every year in exchange for the ability to launch drones from the country. Well, what about Honduras, which rakes in $30 million specifically to fund a police force that acts more like a death squad? And all of this propping up of foreign governments' militaries doesn't even include the heavy cost of maintaining the U.S. empire's 900 military bases worldwide. Just think about these numbers the next time you hear the media or the government retorting at the idea of helping this country's distressed local economies. Because a mere fraction of the money that the U.S. has squandered in Iraq and Afghanistan could have turned Detroit into Dubai. So the excuse that the government can't help Detroit while it continues to funnel billions of dollars into other countries doesn't quite add up. You see, the people that create the wealth in this country deserve a piece of the pie, and that should be top priority.